Lend me your hand. Let me teach you what it means to be a storyteller. Stop overthinking storytelling. Hi, I'm Valerie, and last year I kept telling myself I was going to take storytelling seriously, but I kept starting and stopping. So in this video, I'm breaking down how I became a storyteller and why you already won even if you don't realize it yet. So how exactly did I become a storyteller? When I was in high school, one of the things I used to do after each term was to record memories, and so I would get videos from every single person after each term and I would turn it into a full video and I would send it to the group chat. And I did not even realize what I was doing. All I knew was when I had videos with me, I just wanted to make them into something, and that was exactly how I started telling stories. It wasn't anything serious, it wasn't anything crazy, it wasn't anything insane. It was just I had videos, I had ideas, I had thoughts, I had things and experiences that I had in my life, and I just wanted to put them into the video. And so it was a no-brainer when I was in law school and when it was time for me to think of what I actually wanted to do with my life. One of the things that kept coming to me was storytelling. It was the thing that I've always known, but I did not know that there was a term for it. In my mind, I just thought it was a hobby. Like all these little steps of making videos out of seemingly nothing is what trained me over the years without even knowing to become a storyteller. So what exactly do I do as a storyteller? I tell stories, and I think that that's quite obvious, but it literally is what I do. I help people, brands, to put to language things that they cannot ordinarily do. Every time I interact with people, all I see is their stories. When I meet people, I'm always delighted to even go through public transportation, walking on the road these days, because I meet different kinds of people. So every day, it always makes me laugh when people say that I don't have a story. You do have a story to tell. And so I help people put to language things that they cannot ordinarily do. A lot of brands have beautiful stories. When you listen to people say, oh, I started this business because this happened during the coronavirus, and so I was inspired and I wanted to do this. That is your story. That is literally the why you started the brand. And there's someone out there who will connect to that story. There's someone out there who went through that same thing in COVID that will connect to that story, and then they will want to buy from your brand. Especially for brands, people don't just buy your product because it's your product, unless by the grace of God you are selling something which is a necessity that people would buy regardless of whether you tell them a story or not. But there are certain things and services that you cannot just sell without people actually caring about who you are and what you do, and that is where storytelling comes in. And so that is what I do. One of the things that I'm really passionate about in recent times is helping YouTubers really tell their story, because a lot of people don't realize that on YouTube, when I started YouTube, I did not know how to put to language anything. I was struggling, I didn't know how to talk, and so when I kept practicing, I kept learning, and I'm realizing that one of the reasons why is because I didn't know how to put to language these things. And so in recent times, I've been really passionate about helping YouTubers put to language the ideas, their thought processes into a refined format. Now, how can you start storytelling? You literally tell stories every day. Let me tell you, you do. You tell stories every day. When you come back home and you had a nice time at an event, and you come back home and you're so excited and you're telling your family members, oh my God, mommy, do you know what happened at that event? The food was so good. First of all, there wasn't even traffic, the road was so free. I got there on time. When I got there, I met this person. She was nice to me. She said hi. She said hello. But then, mommy, something happened that I didn't even really like. There was a way the driver spoke to me after that night that I did not appreciate. You see what I'm doing? You give your mom the high points. In between, something happened that you didn't like, because every story must have a point where something good didn't happen, right? So that's conflict. Something happened that you didn't like. That's the story. You literally do this thing every day, my girl. You do it every day. So why are you complicating it? Somebody was just shouting and your mom is like, okay, then what happened? Like, did you fight? And then she's like, and then you're like, no, by the end of the day, I just decided that, I'm a Christian and I don't want to fight anybody, and so I let it go. And she's like, oh, it is well, like, it wasn't that nice that you fought, but at least you let it go. You see, you took them to the beginning of the story. There was a climax, there was conflict, and then you resolved the story by telling your mom that at the end of the day you had a good night and you decided not to fight. So I don't know why people complicate this thing, because you literally are telling a story every single day of your life. Every time you interact with your friends, practice it. When you're talking to your friends, just realize, I know that when you hear hook, rehook, put a hook, I know that it can get really, 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 really tiring for a lot of people, but I just want you to know, first things first, you are doing storytelling already. Yes, are there better ways you can continue to improve? Yes. I myself am constantly trying to improve daily. And so what I want you to do and what I want you to take out of this video is not just to hear my story and say, oh my God, I want to do this too, and then you don't do anything. One take home I want you to do, and you have to make sure you do it. So grab your pen and paper and write this down. I want you to write down an experience that you had recently that meant a lot to you, and what you learned from that experience, what you didn't like about that experience, and what that experience did for you in the end. I want you to write it as a story. You don't have to complicate it. It can be something from your childhood, something you remembered from your childhood that really does mean a lot to you, how it made you feel, and I really want you to put that down. And when you do that, I now want you to not necessarily start recording new videos, but take videos from your phone, video of you laughing with your friend or something like that, record it as a voiceover and make a video about it and post it. And I'm telling you, storytelling will change your life in ways that you did not expect, because when you keep documenting and keep talking and keep sharing these things, you never really know that there's someone out there who needs to hear the very experiences that you went through. And you would never know, and they would never know that they're not alone, because you're not sharing it, you're not talking about it. And so I really hope that this video answered your question in some way, because this is one of the questions I get asked the most. And I really hope that the people who ask these questions, I hope that this video brought some value to you. If you're new here, please like, comment, and subscribe, and join our community. I'll see you next week. And if you're not new here, thank you for coming back to this video. Thank you guys so much. I love you, and God loves you more. Stay blessed. Mwah.